Join us as we shine a spotlight on compelling conversations with leaders from Washington State and beyond. This is Conversations with KD Hall.
Hey everybody, this is your girl KD with a special edition on Conversations with KD Hall with one of my really good friends, a leader, a mentor, a father, Dr. Kendrick Glover. The rose that grew from the concrete. If I were you, I would grab tissue and I would sit down with some popcorn and be ready to be inspired by the power of mentorship.
The rose that grew from a concrete. My personal story is Jim. I was one of those kids that needed somebody like myself. It was a time in my life where there was nobody that I could depend on, you know? It's hard going to home, going to wherever you're gonna lay your head at night and not feeling safe, secure. And if we can give young people a peace of mind for 30 minutes, an hour of feeling safe and secure around other adults, then I feel like we're doing our job. Growing up in a small town, Natchez, Mississippi, 20,000 people, it's just one of those places where, you know, you mixing urban, rural, and country with racism, with classism, with socioeconomic status. It's just a melting pot of everybody, but everybody knew their place. What we're doing here at GM, we're trying to eliminate that by making sure that it's not just equal, but equitable. This facility was visioned by myself and some young people in the community. They had some problems with getting into other open gym spaces, and they wanted a place that they wanted to call their own. So we reached out to some supporters that we had, some funders, some donors, and we made it happen. It was a long road, long journey, but we are definitely happy that this place is up and running. We opened it up in April of 2024, so we're coming up on our 1-year mark, and the kids love it.
So what brought me to gym actually is a relationship that I have with Dr. Glover. He came and actually found me and told me that he had an occupation for me. Prior to this, I was actually trying to find my way in this mentoring space as well with another organization that didn't quite get off the ground. But I came here and I didn't know it was gonna change my life the way that it did. And by him becoming Dr. Glover since I've been at gym, it motivated me to go back to school, and I'm finishing up my bachelor's degree here in June, and then in the fall I'll actually be going into a master's program as well.
You're a doctor now.
Yes.
Talk to us a little bit about your educational journey and what got you here.
So my educational path is different from everyone else's. I started off like everybody else going to elementary school. However, that's where I stopped, not intentionally. However, my lifestyle at the time with what, you know, my family was going through and our family dynamics, it didn't afford for me to put my all into school. So the last grade that I physically completed was the 6th grade. I was specially promoted to the 7th and 8th grade because of my age. They couldn't have a 13-year-old 6th grader, right? And then by the time I got to what would they consider my freshman year of high school, I was doing my first year in Parchment Penitentiary in Mississippi. It was there that I went on to get a GED from the Mississippi Department of Corrections. Through God's grace, I made it out on the other side of those walls, and I told myself that I wanted to be more. And I knew one thing they couldn't do if I ever was to go back to prison or jail again. It's like they say, they can lock your body up, but they can never lock your mind up.
What challenges did you face transitioning from being a boy, into a man? You spoke about not always having, maybe like direct potential role models or mentors at the very beginning. But can you just talk to us a little bit about how did you make that transition and how do you help others make a similar transition?
That transition for me wasn't easy. Like I said, I didn't get to experience a true childhood. I was thrown into the fire at an early age. I had to figure it out. Not having a father figure in my life, not having any true adult male figures who I could lean in on and talk to and get some type of wisdom counsel from. That was non-existent if it wasn't for the wrong reasons. And I gravitated towards that. I tell my kids all the time, I have to see me in order to be me. And what I saw was drug dealers, gang members, pimps, scammers, thieves, robbers. So that was my North Star. That's what I wanted to be like. When you grow up in a home where you don't get to see your parents, but you know they're around and they suffering. I don't know what my dad was going through because never really talked to him when I was a kid, but I knew what my mom was going through, and she was suffering from substance abuse issues. It was hard, but that was still my mama, right? So ain't nobody gonna talk bad about her. I'm ready to fight. Like, oh, there goes that crackhead lady. What? No, don't do that. I'm ready to fight. However you're gonna say it. I was angry, and that anger it ran deep in me, which led me to, that life of crime. It led me to want to idolize and be more than just an average kid. I wanted to be an adult before my time, which I did become an adult for my time, according to the Mississippi Department of Corrections.
Talk to us a little bit about that. Talk to us a little bit about that. What was that like, becoming an adult before your time?
Like you said, that transition, it was rough. Starting at 11 years old when I joined the gang. And I only did it because my brother was doing it. I wanted to be like him. Whatever he did, I wanted to do. So if he smoked, I wanted to smoke. If he staying out till 1 to 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock, I want to be out. Like wherever he's at, I want to be close. He didn't want me to be there, but I always shadowed him. Like I always stayed far enough back to where he knew I was around, but I wasn't directly around, if that made sense. So I always stayed a block away. Seeing that type of stuff, it made me, like I said, idolize that individual lifestyle, which then caused me to get involved, the robbing, the stealing, the drugs, which then led me to getting caught up in the system. And at the age of 15, being sentenced to 10 years in prison, charged as an adult. In the year of 2000 in Natchez, Mississippi.
Come in and meet me where I'm at, or meeting whoever we're mentoring right where they are, instead of trying to just tell them to change. It's actually walking with them to walk through the change with them, because it's no different than when you go to your regular job. When you are being trained at that job, you are being mentored. When your parents are parenting you at home, that is a form of mentorship. So for me, mentoring is walking with somebody, learning, and also being able to educate and guide them.
So we're sitting inside of a boxing ring, which is inside of the gym at gym. It's kind of a play on words.
Well, talk to us about that. What does that mean?
Gym is a place where young people can feel safe and secure. And over the last 10 years, that's what we have strived ourselves on. We have intentionally been putting in this work so that the outcome could be youth-driven. It's significant because it's a decade, and anytime you've been doing something for a decade, at that point you consider you kind of like mastered the art and the craft of it. But I say we still learning. We're daily learners.
When I stepped in the door, it just felt like home. It was a room full of black men who were providing mentorship and just guidance to a bunch of young black men, and it just felt like a great place to be. So I believe that mentorship is one of the building blocks of life. I tell Dr. Glover all the time that this isn't a program, but he's literally organizing a lifestyle. By being around like-minded individuals, I'm allowed to grow in myself, see where I lack, see where I can improve, pick and choose pieces of everybody's story and journey that helps me build who I am as an individual, and know that I'm around a village of people who move like me and want to be able to affect the same, positive goals as me. When I want to make things happen for myself, these are the people that I go to, and they help me to hold those goals in place and just kind of fortify me within my own community. So,
if you can talk to us a little bit about the 5 Ps and how this principle has guided your work through gym.
So I use those 5 Ps as a personal reference and motto, Proper preparation prevents poor performance. When you are properly prepared, then you don't get rattled. You don't have anxiety. You can actually withstand, those curveballs that are thrown at you. I tell my daughter all the time, it's like when we're getting ready to walk out the door, I say, always be prepared, stay ready. so you don't have to get ready.
What brought me to gym was Kendrick actually did. I've been knowing Kendrick for a while. We met when he was doing work at Dimit, and I was working with another organization, and we met because we were working with mutual kids, and we kind of just connected that way. Years later, I was working for another organization, and knew I was on my way out of that program. So I seen him. He told me where his office was. So I went to the office, chopped up. I was like, bro, I'm trying to come work with you. He was like, I got you, bro. He said, come back next week, come and check in with me. A lot of times you hear that, but there's not a lot of follow through with that. And so I came back the next week. He was like, bro, I still ain't got nothing for you, but just be patient with me. I'm gonna find you something. Time goes on. I come back maybe 2 or 3 weeks later. I didn't want to be, a pest. So I kind of waited. I came back. He was like, bro. And he called the team in, and it was Mike. It was a couple other people. They was like, yo, he's good. I like him. And I ended up being the youth development case manager. And so he gave me the job. He followed through on what he said he was gonna do. But that's what brought me to gym. Integrity, honest, ambitious. I think he always has a vision, and he wants that vision to follow through. And so he includes those that he feels is important to that vision. He includes them. And he allows us to work. He allows us to be who we are. He allows us to do what we need to do to make sure that that vision comes to pass. Gym is special. Like I said, there's not too many places like this. There's not too many organizations like this. You're not gonna be able to come to a place where you can make a family and feel like you're part of it. It just is what it is. It sounds cliche, it might sound a little redundant, but it's the truth.
My dad brought me to gym because he wanted me to have a better future. What impacted me on this program was it was keeping me away from gun violence and brought me away from doing bad in school. For me, having Kendrick as a mentor is him teaching all of us to do right and not wrong.
What brought me to gym? Man, I know I was little. I was like around middle school, and I was 7th grade. My dad taught me. He was like, bro, Josiah, come with me. It's gonna be a surprise. And then when we went to the surprise, we ended up doing this little hiking trip up this mountain, and it was fun. I get to meet some people. The people liked me. I was cool, funny, and I just felt good. I felt everybody connection. It was all cool. Kendrick Mentorship helped me with a lot of things. He helped me, basically me just expressing how I feel. It's so important to have confidence in yourself because with much confidence you can do bigger things. Without confidence, you probably be scared and don't know what to do and something. So you always gotta take that risk because it's either you take off or you just stay where you at if you don't have confidence. So he helped me build my confidence up and just really helped me elevate, man.
I think it's so important because you can connect with Kendrick on like a friend or like a role model base level, and the connection with Kendrick felt really genuine and it felt really natural. It's like meeting a friend from school or a new person from school and interacting with them. The conversation is being held. In this program, it really feels genuine, like you're really a part of a big family.
We don't all have to start off at the same place, but we should end up at the same place. Education has always been something that I felt I was good at, but I don't feel like it was afforded to me at the right times in my life. So that's why my educational journey is kind of up and down.
I'm proud of you, Dr. Glover.
Thank you.
I am, seriously. That's a really great story of inspiration.
It's not going to be easy, but it's going to be worth it. Don't compromise yourself for no one. In 25, 26 years from now, you will not believe where you're gonna be at. You're not gonna believe how many people know your name for the right reasons. You're not gonna know how proud your kids are gonna be of you for staying true to yourself. So, 15-year-old Kendrick, you're gonna meet Dr. Glover. And when you meet him, let him know how proud of him you are.
I mean, I have a lot. Definitely, it's different with him at home and him in the office and me with him in the office. So when we go on field trips and we with other kids and when we are at home, we have our dad and daughter talks and we sit down at the table and we eat dinner and we talk about our day. it combines, but it's definitely separate at the same time because he's still my dad, but he's a work dad as well to other people. They come here to get help. They come here for boxing. They come here for basketball. They come here for homework help. And for me personally, I can get help from the people who work here. So it's definitely an impact on me and other people. He's not selfish. He loves other people. He loves his family. His family is his number one thing. He loves helping people. He's a giver, not a receiver. He doesn't want anything back. He likes to give people things. I'm proud of him, and I love him, and he's doing great things.
His story is one of such resilience. And I think I would continue to, but always remind him that our past does not predetermine where we can go in our future. You know, the things that we come from, the mistakes that we've made, that's not what determines what's coming towards us. And so continue to fight to be more than just that young kid out of Natchez, Mississippi, because your outreach, your growth is going to sow such an amazing legacy that it's going to go beyond Natchez. It's going to go beyond Kent, Seattle. It's going to go beyond the United States because that's just who he is. Kendrick Glover is a visionary, a servant leader, a passionate father, and a loving brother.
Once again, keep going, because that love and the authenticity of what we do, the work doesn't stop just because we're on the clock. Continue to just be that beacon of hope, because he's not just doing that for the community, he does it in the lives of us as staff as well. Jim is love. Jim is patient. And most of all, Jim is here.
He never tries to hold us back. So I think one thing about what I want to do is, I've been thinking about going back to school, but he always pushes us to strive for more, to be more, to give more. Continue to do what you've been doing, bro. Everything that you've experienced, everything that you've gone through, that has shaped you, is now shaping us, right? The work you put in, to go to school, the work he's put in to get his doctorate, to get his PhD. Now he's Dr. Glover. That's inspiration. So if this is what you want to continue to do it. Because your impact and your leadership leads us all. Whatever ambitions you got, whatever goals you got, continue to go at them. We got your back. We here. You know what I'm saying? We tell him that all the time. So just go get it, bro. Jim is special. Like I said, there's not too many places like this. There's not too many organizations like this. You're not gonna be able to come to a place where you can make a family and feel like you're a part of it. It just is what it is. It sounds cliche. It might sound a little redundant, but it's the truth.
Kendrick, I want you to know that you bring us kids out of trouble. Gym is a wonderful and peaceful place to be at. We have the gym to play basketball and be around the kids, have field trips, and he does fun things for us.
Kendrick is a leader. He is a good example to many of the youth and to many of the men who's out there. And I see Kendrick as like an uncle. Jim is wonderful, amazing, and just a lot more things, man. It's fun. Like, you get to meet a lot of people, you get to see a lot of people, get to travel, get to do field trips. It's fun, man. Like, I love it. I love it here.
Gym is a place of interaction, a place of fun, a place of new opportunities, and all around just a place of joy. If I were to give a message to Kendrick, I would say thank you for welcoming me with open arms, showing me different opportunities and different ways he came up, and where he is now is really amazing. Gym is family.
I'm proud of him, and I love him, and he's doing great things. Kendrick Glover is my father, and he is a wonderful person. Gym is a place where you can come and get help and with anything, family problems, issues with work, or it's just a place to be.
No matter what, you got to push through. Perseverance. You know, every day is going to be a fight, but you can't give up on yourself. You have to push yourself, strive for what you believe in, Always stand true to your moral principles and values, and you will succeed.
And Kendrick, 15-year-old Kendrick, what do you want to say to 41-year-old Dr. Glover?
I'm proud of you. Thank you for not giving up on yourself. Thank you for always being you, no matter what they placed on you, no matter what you placed on yourself, no matter how hard it was. Thank you. I would like to dedicate this film to two people who are no longer here with me. My grandmother, Miss Rosemary Glover, and my brother, Jonathan G. Love Glover. I love you and I miss you, and I hope I'm making you proud.